Welcome to the changing world order, where the strongest country takes the lead away from the former strongest country. This can be seen in the current situation of the US and China, where the leading great power, the US, is falling and rising great power, China, is rising. They are now about to cross each other. Meet Ray Dalio, the author of the book Principles for Dealing with the Changing World Order. According to Ray Dalio, this situation has occurred many times throughout history, dating as far back as the Roman Empire. Each empire typically lasts for around 250 years and goes through rises and falls. On August 15, 1971, President Richard Nixon announced that the United States would no longer convert dollars to gold at a fixed value, thus completely abandoning the gold standard.
Strength of a nation's currency is based on the strength of that nation's economy. And the American economy is by far the strongest in the world. Accordingly, I have directed the Secretary of the Treasury to take the action necessary to defend the dollar against the speculators. I have directed Secretary Connally to suspend temporarily the convertibility of the dollar into gold or other reserve assets, except in amounts and conditions determined to be in the interest of monetary stability and in the best interest of the United States.
Note that at this time, gold was the real money, and paper notes were used to exchange for gold. Another thing to note was that at that time, Ray Dalio was a clerk in the New York Stock Exchange. So, after watching this news on the television, he thought that the stock market would have plunged the next day. But when the stock market opened, he was shocked as the stock market rose 25% that day. He did not expect this at all because he had never experienced a currency devaluation before. So he went to study about the past and found out that the same thing happened in 1933 and the stock market also rose at that time. This incident led Ray Dalio to start anticipating the future by studying the past. He then created a chart called the Big Cycle, showing the different stages throughout the rise and fall of an empire. The US is currently at the stage of printing money and credit. This is because when countries don't have enough money to pay debts, even after lowering interest rates to zero, their central banks have to print lots of money. This is one of the factors that leads to the changing world order. Alright, now let's move on to the second factor, which is big internal conflicts emerging. Due to growing gaps in wealth and values, there is a conflict between two groups of people, those who want to redistribute wealth and those who want to defend those holding the wealth. The two groups in the US have not crossed the line yet, and everything is still in order. The third factor will be the increasing external conflict between the rising great power and the leading great power, as is now happening with China and the United States. All of these happened many times throughout history and has led to changing domestic or world orders. Countries rise from different factors that will affect each other. The first factor that will start the rise or decline is education. Better education will increase innovation and technology development, which will then lead to competitiveness, economic output, world trade, military strength, financial center, which will then end up with the establishment of the currency as a reserve currency. Alright, so what's for the future? What's going to happen from now onwards? Basically, the US dollar is going to continue to lose its value and a depression may come. And the US will continue to fall while China rises. Although, it is possible that the US may be able to extend the years as the leading great power. Also, I'm quite skeptical about China being the next leading power, as it will take many countries to use the Chinese yuan in order for it to happen. So that leads me to the next segment, which is cryptocurrencies. Now comes the part on how cryptocurrencies can affect all of this. When asked about his view on crypto, Ray Dalio mentioned that there can be multiple currencies being used at the same time. This also implies that crypto will play a big part in the changing world order. And personally, I think that cryptocurrency will be the next great power. However, that can only happen if the average person around the world adopts cryptocurrency. And I mean true adoption, not just speculation. Anyways, that is my take on Ray Dalio's book, Principles for Dealing with the Changing World Order. I will leave a link to the video summary of it in the description down below, so go check it out. Also, let me know what you think about the changing world order, and how long you think the US have left before the rising great power takes over. Thank you for watching this video. I hope that you learned something new from it. If so, please hit the like and subscribe button down below to show your support, and also hit the bell icon to get notified whenever I post a new video. Remember, your support will always be my greatest motivation to keep posting new videos. And also remember to save, invest, and win. Peace out.